Hello and welcome, I am Arumba, thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our British campaign in Hearts of Iron 4. So, thanks to the Reddit comment section, recognizing the value in Singapore, there is a specific province, specific tile. Look at the just idiotic amount of stuff in that one province right there. So yeah, we should probably not completely retract all of our defenses from there. We will start to send a few troops over. In fact, you know what? Let's just do it now. I'm going to rebase some of our homeland troops, and we'll retrain some of our homeland troops. Again, 5th Cavalry Brigade. I feel like it should rename them automatically if you change the template, but hey, that's just me. So we'll create a new guy, and we'll give him like a commander. Second, not a field commander. What are you? Own combat with guy. Let's go with you. Oh, create a new theater. And then all we have to do is just go over here, Singapore, and then just say garrison. And they should be smart enough to just hop onto some boats and head on over, which is great. So yeah, we'll garrison Singapore, don't worry about it. I noticed that my African regiments were actually too large. I had 25 troops being controlled, and he can actually only handle 24. So we do have the Panzer Division. It's not Panzers, but I'm going to call them Panzers. It's actually something totally different. There was some really good discussion going on that I wanted to consider a little bit further before we get too close to this actual war. And that is that the Vickers tank, which I didn't want to build, actually has so much freaking armor that it might make sense. It might make sense to just research the Vickers and produce that instead of using the Matilda. Like, let's compare these tanks side by side for a second. We already have the Matilda, we're already building the Matilda. The production cost is 9 versus 25, so I guess that's one pretty big damn factor, is the production cost. Not to mention it takes more resources. But the hardness is higher. Brings up the overall hardness of the division, which means that they would suffer fewer attacks. It's a bigger tank, so naturally, it's going to cause them to be safer, the infantry. It's fast enough that infantry can march alongside it. Or rather that it keeps up with infantry. It's got 36 breakthrough, same thing as a regular light tank. Actually, it has less soft attack. More hard attack. 35 piercing. I'd say maybe if I were to do it over again, if I'd started over, instead of even researching the Matilda, I might have just gone for the Vickers. But as it is, I think we may be looking at going for the Crusader instead, a medium tank. I don't know, it really depends. I mean, keeping the production costs down is pretty appealing to me. Medium tank only has 12 production cost. It's faster than it needs to be. 60 armor versus the older version of the heavy tank, which had like 70. This is really more my style, I think. And then maybe doing the artillery variant. No, that's the tank destroyer variant. Medium self-propelled artillery, because what we care about is we don't actually care too much. And that loses all of its piercing value. We're going to be bringing artillery along anyway. We would probably just use a regular tank. Anyway, let's continue. We're going to play in speed 3 for a moment while I get my bearings straight. It's a new day. I do remember that one of the last things I had done was update my template. It cost 25 or 30 points. It was very expensive. I don't remember what it was now. I think it was that we updated the tank. That's right. We updated the tank brigade to include some motorized infantry, so that we had more HP. We're still at 10 combat width, so we'd like for this to be bigger. No support added to this at all yet. I think I would probably prefer to keep the tank brigade small. I think 10 is an acceptable combat width for them. We've got a little bit of manpower. Might not be a bad idea just to get some more infantry divisions. How are we doing on supplies? We've got 600 units of towed artillery. So we could produce a few. Get a few more infantry out. We got tons of infantry equipment. Yeah, it looks like it's about time just to get a few more infantry. Like that should be fine. 3 military factories. Give this a second update. Looks like the towed artillery is actually the thing that we're short on. Okay, so we have some defense in Singapore. Also, we can talk to the British Raj and just request their forces, apparently, since they are our... what do you call them? They are our protectorate, so these are now my forces, evidently. It still shows... oh, interesting. So it's 7 infantry, it's... did they copy my template? They're actually all perfectly acceptable. Actually, they're better than mine because they've got an extra support company attached to them. Wow, good stuff. Good stuff, man. Well, these troops. We're gonna put them in a new theater. Crap. That's not at all what I meant to do. Why do you have to go? Why is there an extra click to edit the name? Okay, so these troops we will assign a general commander. We'll get them training up, I think most likely, let's assume Japan. Japan is at war with China, so Japan is going to end up bordering over here. I think we create a front line. With a basic command. That we are in preparation for something over there. Now there's no way that I can interject myself into this war, right? My goal as the leader of the Allies is to get people to join the Allies. Negative 39 reasons. French opinion of the United Kingdom is giving us one reason. World tension slightly increases it. I mean, we could spend our daily political power to improve relations with nations and try and make that happen. I think we're going to go ahead and start getting this thing started. 0.6 years ahead of time is close enough, I think, that with a 50% reduced penalty, it's not a problem. These should just be... I should just be able to click and reorganize these. Like click drag. I don't know why you can't move them up and down. As is, I've got more brigades in Africa than I do in the homeland, which is probably pretty safe. Something else, some other really good comments that we had in the subreddit were that we should isolate, create new fleet, all submarines. Skill. And the reason for that is that submarines are apparently, if we right-click to create new fleet from this group, I want to inspect. How do you? Well, I think we want to keep the subs here. The home fleet, I think we want to split in half. I think this is a good job, a good thing to have on for this specific fleet. We're going to split this fleet in half. And we want to have some protection in here as well. Here's the thing right now. I'm looking at this is the naval map mode. So shouldn't I be able to see them already on their missions? How about that? Because they're not deployed yet. Actually, I have to take the time to go down there. Is it seriously that many? Wow, I have 89 destroyers in this fleet alone. And another 89 in this fleet as well. So anyway, there was some research going on, right? About the different ways to build out your navy. And there's an appropriate balance of battleships to battlecruisers to heavy cruisers to screens to destroyers to all that stuff. I don't think I want to go that far into detail on it this campaign, but I'd like to learn those numbers. Right now, my basic strategy for the production of pretty much all ships is just when I need ships, I just build the cheapest one that's the most upgraded version that we can build. You know, whether or not that's a good idea, you know, production cost $990. That means I can make a ton of these things. And it's worked out so far for me. Now, probably playing against a player, if I were playing against someone who was actually competent and used the right layout or the right composition of a navy, then I am overly screening. Screening, I think, is the right term. I could be wrong. Screens. I think it even tells you a little bit about the ships in the research screen. When you okay, destroyers, the lightest screening vessel. Its job is to defend larger ships and to find and destroy submarines. So we're building tons of screens. Cruisers is a light screening vessel. Primary purpose is to shield capital ships from enemy ships, but also to unleash powerful torpedoes that can hurt some bigger ships too. The heavy cruiser is a large armored cruiser that is pretty flexible, good choice for nations who can't afford to build larger capital ships. Battle cruisers, offensive capabilities close to those of a battleship but with weaker armor, traded for faster speed, and then the capitalist largest ship, biggest guns, strongest armor that money can buy. Such an expensive investment deserves proper support of smaller screening ships. And this is where that ratio comes into play, where you want to have a certain amount of screens to pure like light screen, medium screen, and then capital ships. And I don't remember what it is. I just remember that there was a discussion that was being had on that topic. So perhaps at some point I'll be able to look it up. For now, lots of destroyers, kill the subs. Make sure there's no subs. The way I figure, we're going to have air superiority. If we kill all the German submarines, then we'll have some naval... I'll make naval bombers too, and then we're just going to bomb all the ships. He shouldn't want to take his ships out of port because he'll be scared of my ships. Because my fleet is huge. General rearmament. Okay, so consumer good factories is down. Naval rearmament. Naval experience, 50 army experience or navy experience. That's quite good. In a naval dockyard in Singapore. Ooh, air bases. That just gives you increased capacity. We don't really need that, but I wanted fighter command. So we're going to do that one. The following will bypass the focus, not enough building slots. Interesting. Okay. So we've got our 8 troops down here. You're fascist, which means I expect you're probably going to join the Germans at some point. When we look at the country list, we can see that there is no one in the Axis yet. There are a number of people who are already in the Allies. We've got New Zealand, South Africa. These people will all automatically join any wars that we go into because we are their commanding officers. Invite to faction. Needs to be at 80% world tension. They have a negative opinion of us because we apparently hold their core province. Fascinating. Okay, well, I suppose we can go on speed 4 while we're waiting for some more of our new troops to deploy. Let's go ahead and add these guys to automatically join the homeland. I hate that. You have to have the correct theater selected. Looks like Germany has already done Anschluss, and we knew that they were doing Danziger War. They are now doing Demand Sudetenland. So they did Danziger War. I know they did do that. So it looks like, did I not get a pop-up about it? I could swear they did Danziger War. Didn't they? Could have sworn I remember seeing them having done Danziger War. Don't you guys remember that in the last episode? I think so. Well, right now he's trying to take this outer Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia, which will give him again more factories, which we'd really prefer for him to not have. Looks like we're doing okay. We could use motorized. But we were out of rubber. Now we have more rubber, so we're good on rubber. Okay. I want to have a few more motorized. We've got 250 more tanks now as well. These are not mutually exclusive, by the way. I don't have to keep going down this far. But escort efficiency goes up. Submarine surface detection. If I'm reading this right, submarine surface detection. Is that saying that our submarines are better at detecting, or that we are better at detecting submarines that are on the surface? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it sounds like a good thing to have, so let's get it. Besides, we're pretty damn good at research. Like, we got 5 research slots. We're doing 1, 2, 3 different types of doctrine at the same time. We're getting tons of air stuff coming in. Fighter detection's going to go up. We're about to get air support up. And then I'm definitely getting the fighter agility here. Naval mission efficiency. I think we probably go all the way down to air skirmish. It's about as far down that path as I'm interested in going. We can modify government again. I remember we changed to partial mobilization. I think we hold on to our points, possibly. Or do we want to try to find... find some more people to appoint to our country. Kind of bothers me that we don't have another guy who gives political power gain plus 15%. Germany gets 2 of them. I think even Poland has 2 of them. But we, for some reason, we've only got this guy here who's 5%. France wants to join the Allies. The world is growing increasingly unsafe. Britain and France remain bastions of democracy and liberty in Europe, and France now propose that they join the Allies. How should we reply? Yes. We accept. German demands for the Sudetenland region of Czechoslovakia, where a significant number of ethnic Germans live, have come to a head. Hitler has positioned forces along the Czechoslovakian border in preparation for an attack. Talks are being held in Munich between Britain, France, Italy, and Germany in hopes of negotiating a peaceful end. Czechoslovakia must be defended? Gains condemned aggression. Opinion of German Reich minus 50. German Reich gains conquer focus war goal against Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia joins the Allies. France gets the event, the Munich conference. I think we do this. Even though we don't have enough political power, Czechoslovakia must be defended. Damn straight. The German demands for the Sudeten border territory in Czechoslovakia, which is home to a considerable German minority, have recently intensified. At a summit in Munich, Germany, Britain... See, we get to these events a couple times because it's a world event. So whether you are part of our... If I wasn't Britain, I would be getting this pop-up right now, basically. So we've had them join the ally. They're already in our faction. So that means that if Germany wants to take over Czechoslovakia, they're going to have to declare World War II right now. So I think it's a great spot to take a break. We also are ready for Fighter Command, which is good. I'm close. I feel pretty close to prepared. I'd like for a little bit more time. Keep in mind that Italy is not part of the ally access yet. So all of our plans for Africa don't really apply just yet. But the idea would be that these guys are going to take over the rest of Africa, secure Africa, and then from there, we would move in and start staging naval invasions into Italy and just strike at the, I was reading about some of the cool history of this stuff, right? The soft underside, what was the term? The soft underside of Europe, of Hitler's Europe, is the term for, Italy. So anyway, alright, I'm gonna take a break here. I'm looking forward to World War II. That sounds so bad, but it's true. So, I'll see you again in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you in a bit.